Hi guys, JT here. September's Humble Monthly has dropped, and the big question is, are these games actually worth your time? I'm breaking down everything in this month's bundle so you'll know exactly what you're getting before you buy. If you decide to pick it up, the links down below will get you straight to the bundle and also help support the channel. Your support means everything, and I can't thank you enough. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1, the featured game of this month, WWE 2K25, the 2025 entry in 2K's wrestling series, packed with an enormous roster, new gameplay features, and a spotlight on the Bloodline dynasty. You step into the ring of over 300 superstars and legends, from Cody Rhodes to The Undertaker, while Showcase Mode, narrated by Paul Heyman, lets you relive and rewrite the family saga of Roman Reigns and company. This year brings some welcome upgrades. For the first time, you can compete in intergender matches, dive over barricades, and bring back the grit of chain wrestling. Universe Mode gets deeper, with branching promos and cutscenes, while My GM goes online, letting you pit your brand against friends in multi-week seasons. My Rise unifies men's and women's stories into a single narrative, making your career feel bigger and more unpredictable than before. That said, not everything lands perfectly. Showcase Mode often frustrates with rigid objectives that break the flow of matches, and many players note that unlocking content is an exhausting grind. Online play is a hit or miss, depending on servers and opponents, while the Creation Suite, once a fan favorite, feels clunky compared to past years. Still, when you're in the ring, the action shines. The expanded roster, blood effects, and faster pacing make every match feel alive, and community creations keep things fresh. If you're a fan of WWE's spectacle, you'll find plenty to enjoy here, even if the grind can test your patience. And number 2 we have Destiny 2 Legacy Collection 2025, the most comprehensive way to step into Bungie's evolving sci-fi universe. This bundle within a bundle pulls together years of expansions and key content, giving you a cinematic story across the Final Shape, Lightfall, The Witch Queen, Forsaken, and the 30th Anniversary Pack. You also gain access to fan-favorite dungeons like Pit of Heresy, Shattered Throne, and Grasp of Avarice, along with over 50 exotics and the new Prismatic subclass. While Beyond Light and Shadowkeep campaigns are free for everyone, there are packs here still enrich your arsenal. Do note that dungeon keys for the Final Shape, Lightfall, and the Witch Queen are sold separately. From the start, you'll notice Destiny 2's signature gunplay, fast, responsive, and endlessly satisfying. Each expansion layers on new environments, enemies, and powers, so you always feel like you're growing stronger. The Witch Queen's campaign challenges you with clever mechanics, Lightfall drops you into a neon-drenched battlefield, and the Final Shape pushes the story arc to its most dramatic stakes yet. Along the way, dungeons provide compact but intense endgame challenges, demanding teamwork and rewarding precision. The Legacy Collection also ensures you're not just playing catch-up. With dozens of exotics and subclass options, you can experiment with builds, dominate PvP matches, or craft raid-ready loadouts. Whether you're exploring lore-rich quests solo or diving into 6-player raids with friends, the variety feels immense. That said, Destiny 2's content structure can be confusing. Even with this bundle, not everything is unlocked, and newer players may need to study what's included versus what's still sold separately. But once you're in, the sheer scale of activities, from cinematic campaigns to competitive Crucible matches, makes this collection the best way to immerse yourself in Destiny's thriving universe. And number 3 we have the Plucky Squire, a whimsical action-adventure that feels like stepping into a storybook come to life. You play as Jot, a farming fantasy hero suddenly thrown out of his own children's book by the villainous Humgrump. From there, you're tasked with jumping between 2D pages and vibrant 3D worlds, using your sword, wits, and a little creativity to restore the tale and save the kingdom. At first, gameplay feels familiar, top-down exploration of light combat reminiscent of classic Zelda. Soon though, you realize the Plucky Squire thrives on variety. One moment you're solving clever word puzzles, rearranging narration to reshape the world, turning a destroyed bridge into a complete one, or shrinking a frog blocking your path. The next, you're side-scrolling, leaping into drawings, or battling in quirky minigames like a Punch-Out style boxing match against a honey badger. Every new mechanic keeps you guessing, and each puzzle feels rewarding to solve. The 3D segments add even more depth, letting you jump between book pages and environments in playful, surprising ways. As it progresses, Jot unlocks new powers that keep challenges fresh and engaging. What truly makes this game unique though, is its charm. The colorful visuals, warm humor, and heartwarming tone give you a sense of joy that few games capture. Yes, the pacing can stumble, early hours are slow, and story segments sometimes interrupt momentum, but the positivity and creativity carry you through. The Plucky Squire is a delightful, inventive adventure that feels like a hug in video game form. At number 4 we have SpellForce, Conquest of Eo, a turn-based strategy game set in the long-running SpellForce universe, shifting away from the series' traditional RPG roots and leaning heavily into accessible, entry-level RTS gameplay. You step into the role of a mage's apprentice, thrust into power after your master's murder by the Circle, a ruling cabal of sorcerers who see themselves as judge and jury over all magic users. From the outset, you choose a class: alchemist, artificer, or necromancer, each shaping your spells, units, and eventual playstyle. As you rebuild your master's tower and spread influence across the land, you'll research spells, craft minions, and recruit heroes to bolster your armies. Combat plays out on a zoomed-in map, with turn-based skirmishes where you direct units and cast spells from the sidelines. While functional, battles often lack impact, and you may find yourself skipping predictable encounters. Where Conquest of Eo succeeds is in exploration and progression. As you expand, you'll encounter quests, side stories, and moral choices that influence your rise to power. Promoting heroes, gathering resources, and experimenting with spells keep things engaging, even if the variety in unit design feels limited. Heroes and apprentices bring more than old SpellForce flavor, offering progression and customization that strategy fans will appreciate. Visually, the game presents detailed maps and serviceable designs, though it rarely dazzles. SpellForce Conquest of Eo offers a solid, approachable strategy experience with plenty to do, but veterans may miss the franchise's signature blend of RPG depth and originality. At number 5 we have Return to Monkey Island, the long-awaited continuation of the legendary adventure series, bringing Guybrush Threepwood back after decades. Led once again by series creator Ron Gilbert, this entry balances nostalgia with fresh new ideas, offering a story that is both a pirate romp and a reflection on legacy, aging, and expectations. If you've been waiting 30 years for answers, you may not get exactly what you imagined, but you will get something clever, funny, and heartfelt. You'll journey with Guybrush as he races ghost pirate LeShuck to uncover the elusive secret of Monkey Island. Classic characters like Elaine, Murray, Stan, and the Voodoo Lady return, joined by new faces who add plenty of humor. Some old favorites like Elaine feel underused, but the vibrant cast keeps things entertaining throughout. Across 5 chapters, you'll solve puzzles that are more approachable than in past games, though still tricky enough to challenge newcomers. The addition of a hint system makes progress smoother, without removing the satisfaction of solving things yourself. Quality of life updates, like clearer interactions and controller-friendly design, make the game more accessible than older installments. Visually, the new art style is colorful and striking, even if not every fan will love it. Paired with stellar voice acting and a great soundtrack, the presentation feels rich and polished. Return to Monkey Island isn't just about the secret, it's about what Monkey Island means after 3 decades. If you accept it on those terms, you'll find an adventure absolutely worth your time. At number 6 we have Eastern Exorcist, a side-scrolling action RPG set in a dark fantasy version of China, where you control demon-slaying heroes battling through painterly landscapes. This game immediately impresses with stunning visuals, fluid animations, and wonderfully grotesque enemy designs. The story is shockingly cruel yet fascinating, blending revenge quests and tragic folklore into engrossing mini-arcs that rival the depth of The Witcher's side stories. You choose between 2 protagonists, Lu Yunshuan, an exiled exorcist hunting the King Mandrill, and Xiao Hao Shui, a half-demon seeking a cure for her cursed brother. Each character has unique zones, bosses, and storylines, making their campaigns feel distinct and rewarding. Combat is the game's real highlight. Rather than button mashing, you'll master precise parries, rhythmic combos, and stamina management. Perfectly timed counters not only save you, but restore stamina, pushing you to fight skillfully. When you succeed, battles feel exhilarating. When you fail, mistimed inputs can quickly spell disaster. The system is challenging but fair, though projectile-heavy enemies occasionally make encounters feel cheap. The RPG elements, leveling, spells, and ability customization add welcome depth. though the sheer number of skills can feel overwhelming. Fortunately, most options are viable, encouraging experimentation. The painterly art style and haunting atmosphere make every scene striking, but the linear level design limits exploration. The soundtrack is serviceable but forgettable, with repetitive boss music that undercuts the tension. Despite some rough edges, Eastern Exorcist offers exhilarating combat, a rich setting, and 2 strong campaigns. If you crave stylish 2D action with teeth, this is absolutely worth your time. And number 7 we have Warhammer 40,000 Speed Freeks, a vehicular arena shooter that captures the wild, anarchic spirit of the orcs, giving you rocket-powered death machines to race, ram, and blow up in gloriously chaotic matches. This game feels like a twisted mashup of Mad Max and Twisted Metal, wrapped in Warhammer 40k's loudest, greenest faction. You'll choose from 8 unique vehicles, each acting like a hero with distinct abilities and movement styles. The Boomdagger Snazwagon, for example, tosses Molotovs and drops smoke screens, while heavier tanks trade speed for firepower. Combat is not just about driving fast, it's about using boosts, dashes, ramps, and abilities that outwit your opponents while screaming "Rawr!" with everyone else. The sheer energy is infectious, and customizing your ride with orky paints and gear adds even more personality. The 2 current modes, Death Rally and Kill Convoy, offer different flavors of carnage. Death Rally emphasizes all-out brawls over control points, while Kill Convoy lets you defend or sabotage lumbering stompers in rolling chaotic battles. Both modes deliver laughs, tension, and memorable scraps. Unfortunately, the fun often stalls. Matches are filled with bots, making victories feel hollow when only a handful of real players are around. The limited number of maps and vehicles also makes things feel repetitive after a while, and cosmetics plus a battle pass suggest monetization is already prioritized over content depth. Still, when Speed Freaks clicks, it's one of the most gleefully chaotic multiplayer games you can play. If you want pure orky mayhem, this is worth keeping an eye on. At number 8 we have Grapple Dog, a 2D pixel platformer that feels like a lost gem from the Game Boy Advance era, wrapped in modern accessibility. You play as Pablo, an adventurous pup armed with a grappling hook, traversing 6 colorful worlds full of hazards, collectibles, and charming characters. The game blends childlike whimsy with demanding platforming, offering that easy-to-pick-up, hard-to-master appeal. The grappling hook is the star, allowing you to swing between blue platforms, attack enemies, and chain movement with style. Controls are slightly floaty, but once you adjust, you'll find a satisfying rhythm. Collecting is another highlight. Hundreds of fruits, hidden gems, and bonus levels keep you engaged while providing meaningful progression. Boss battles are exciting without being overly punishing, acting as playful tests of everything you've learned. Where Grapple Dog stumbles is in its narrative. The introduction sets up an intriguing world of cosmic gadgets, inventors, and villains, but the story quickly fades into the background, never lining up to its promise. You may not miss it if you're here purely for the platforming, but the lack of narrative payoff feels like a missed opportunity. Technical hiccups, such as long load times and occasional crashes, also break immersion, though accessibility options like infinite jumps and damage toggles make the challenge approachable for everyone. Despite its flaws, Grapple Dog shines as a passionate homage to retro platformers. If you love collectathons, tight mechanics, and pixel charm, you'll want to sink your hooks into this one. And that's all for this month's Humble Monthly. This month's Humble Monthly doesn't quite hit the same highs as some past Humble Bundles, but there's still value depending on your tastes. Destiny 2's Legacy Collection feels a little underwhelming, since much of the older content is vaulted or split into extra purchases, and WWE 2K25 has the usual yearly release fatigue. That said, the rest of the lineup, Monkey Island, Plucky Squire, Speed Freaks, offers a lot of charm and variety. Not the strongest bundle, but still worth a look if those titles catch your eye. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.